Hi guys, coming back at you. I'm back at it, and just the beginning of this weekend working on the house, on the ensuite. I'll show you a couple things I've got done already without you. With the flooring, the nails were all popping up, so I've nailed them all down, and what I've also done is I've put in deck screws to pull everything tight. And I'm going to have one repair to do, because if you see this piece here, there's nothing supporting it. So I'm going to have to support that before I put the new subflooring in. And also, in keeping in line with what my dad taught me, anything worth doing is worth overdoing. So that's what I've done here. Used to be the medicine cabinet. I'm filling it in. So the way I've done that, I just put in a couple of nailers or strips to screw. I had a section of 2x4. I used that, and then I had some old scrap for the one spot. And overkill, because I likely could have spanned that with the drywall seam, but I put just little scraps in there I had anyway to give me something to screw the drywall to. And because the new drywall is 1/2 inch and this stuff is 3/8 and it's double drywalled, the problem would be when it comes to putting the drywall down, it's thicker. So what I did was I made this little jig with a piece of the new drywall, and I just put it up against the wall and used that, and then brought the 2x4 up. So when I attach the drywall to the 2x4s, the front of it will be spaced properly. And that's how I did that. So it all lines up nice and purty. This one I gotta do a small adjustment, which is easy enough. There we go. So that's about where we are. Time to put up some drywall. I got the piece cut already. And typical of the way my dad taught me, I may do the, you always hear people say measure twice, cut once. Well, I was brought up using the rule of measure twice, cut 3 times, because we tend to cut stuff bigger than we need, and then we have to cut it down, which makes stuff really tight. And I actually allowed for that. I dropped a whole 1/8 of an inch off, and when I measured for these pieces here, the 19 inches, 19 1/8, I cut them, and I still had to pound them in because I, like an idiot, made them tight. So let's just put the drywall in place now, because that's the step we're at now. And I guess I'll need someone to hold it there until I get the screws in, right? Nope. No, I made it tight enough, it fits. And it stays there. Like, you can't, yeah, it's not gonna come out. Damage there, but that's gotta be fixed. And so I'm gonna get that screwed in. I'm going to patch some holes and one small crack, and that's the only crack on the inside of this entire house, is that one right there. And that's because they put a seam too close to a door. They should have put it in the middle. So that's easy to fix though. And the only thing I'm going to have trouble with is here, because I pulled the paper off. This was the old backsplash glued on, and the part that still has paper on the old drywall is contact cement. So I'm going to have to do something cover that or remove it or something. So that I'm going to have to figure out. In the meantime, I'll bring you back next time I have something to report. Well, it wasn't the best way to do it, but that's the only way I could get that off. Was I tried sanding it to get the contact cement off, but it just wouldn't do it. So I'm going to try this. This is down to the rough paper, which I don't like to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a coat of primer on it, which will hopefully seal the paper. Then I'll throw a thin layer of mud on it. And if that doesn't work, then the next step will be to cut out some more drywall. And as you can see, got the patch up. And yeah, probably more screws than it needs, but my dad always taught me, anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Well, not exactly, but that seems to be the way that we always have done things. You know, it's not a bad trait. So, next I'm just kind of cleaning up the mess. And then throw some mud. Throw a little bit of primer. Still haven't fixed that one board. This one right here, I haven't fixed it yet. I'll do that, and then maybe tonight I'll test fit the new underlay, which is already cut. So we'll see. Another update to come.